Hi, it's Gary Bourne at Royal LePage, Sussex, and welcome to my 2020 real estate review for North Vancouver. And what a bizarre year it was. If somebody would have told me at the beginning of the year that we would be hit with a pandemic that would effectively shut down our economy in the middle of March, I would have had grave predictions. And people did put their real estate plans on pause. But the pandemic actually caused their sheltering needs to intensify, what with moving their offices back home and isolating themselves in their homes. So, after some months, especially with the protocols that realtors had in place, they started feeling comfortable enough for buyers to once again go out and look at properties and sellers to list their properties for sale. So, let's take a look. Okay, so here we have the sales for all three categories: detached, apartments, and townhomes. So you can see we started the year very strongly. It was looking like we were going to have an awesome spring. January, February up to over 200 sales, and the first half of March really strong. But then after that, of course, the sales plummeted, and slowly as months went on, they started to get better again. And even though we had about 4 months of very low sales, we finished the year very strongly. In fact, December, we had 246 sales compared to last year, only 155. So let's take a look category by category. So detached, we had 946 sales, which was 22% above the previous year and down about 8% over the 10-year average. For new listings, there were 1,600, which was about the same as last year and about 13% below the 10-year average. And we ended the year for detached just 139 listings for sale, which was 34% less than last year and the second lowest in 10 years. Moving on to townhomes, we had 325 sales, which was up 22% from the previous year and about 19% above the 10-year average. For new listings, there were 687, which was 8% above the previous year and about 30% above the 10-year average. And then we ended the year just with 67 townhomes for sale, which is about 4% below the same period last year. And then finally, with apartments, there were 1,216 sales, which was 22% up from last year and 21% above the 10-year average. For new listings, there were 2,282, which was up 17% from the previous year and about 30% above the 10-year average. And for apartments, we ended up with just 229 listings for sale, which is about 19% lower than last year. Okay, so now we're going to look at the sales to active ratio, and keeping in mind between 12 and 20% represents a balanced market. Below that would be buyers, and then above that, of course, sellers. So you can see that throughout the year, we went back into seller's market and ended the year strongly in seller's market territory. So let's see how that affects prices. For detached homes, we ended up with 1.702, and that was up 12.5% year over year. And we actually went up about 8.9% in the last 6 months. Townhomes, we ended up at 1,010,000, and that was up 9.2% year over year, and about 2.1% in the last 6 months. And finally, with apartments, we ended up just under 586,000, which is up about 6.1% year over year and up 1.9% over the last 6 months. Okay, so there you have it. We've got a very low inventory of homes available for sale, and we still have a very strong demand, which overall, I would say that our 2021, we're expecting more of the same. We'll continue with historically low interest rates, and also the demand should continue to be strong. And we're seeing the millennials in a much bigger way entering the marketplace. So there you have it. Thanks for listening to my video review. And if you have any questions, please be in touch with me. It's Gary Bourne, and you can always reach me at 604-787-9418. Take care.